Food prices rise, choices shrink, quality changes. In every crisis, meat disappears fast. But not every type of canned meat helps you survive better. Some only keep you full temporarily. Some make your body even more exhausted. And some, if you choose wrong, will drain your strength very quickly. Today's video is the 10 best canned meats to stockpile before it's too late. The kinds that can keep you standing when everything starts to fall apart. And by the end of the video, you will understand why. One can of meat at the right moment can change the entire outcome. 1. Canned beef stew/canned beef stew. If you could choose only one type of canned meat to stockpile for a crisis, it would have to be canned beef stew. Not because it tastes the best, and not because it is the cheapest, but because it is the most complete meal in a can. Inside a single can of beef stew is everything the body needs to sustain life. Meat to provide protein, vegetables to add fiber and minerals, liquid to reduce dehydration, calories to maintain energy, along with salt and electrolytes to keep the body balanced during labor, stress, or food shortage. In other words, this is not just meat, but a miniature survival system neatly packed inside a metal can. In survival, what matters is not eating one big meal, but keeping your body from collapsing throughout the entire day. And beef stew does that better than any other type of canned meat. One can of beef stew can help you maintain energy for many hours, keep your mind alert, limit dehydration, and prevent exhaustion. Even when you have to move constantly, do heavy labor, or live under prolonged hardship. The greatest advantage of beef stew lies in its absolute convenience. No cooking, no heating, no preparation. Just open the lid and you have a complete meal. In a crisis, every minute saved is a portion of strength preserved, and not having to cook helps you conserve water, fuel, and energy. 3 extremely precious resources when all supplies are disrupted. However, the greatest value of beef stew is not only in calories or protein, but in the psychological factor. A meal with hot broth, the smell of stewed meat, soft vegetables, and familiar flavors helps people maintain a sense of normalcy amid chaos, reduce stress, stabilize emotions, and sustain clear thinking. In areas suffering from prolonged disasters, stew-type meals are always prioritized for distribution, not because they taste better, but because they support morale better. And when morale is strong, people make more accurate decisions, stay calmer, and survive longer. Beef stew does not only help you live, but also helps you preserve your dignity. And that is why in every serious prepping list, beef stew always ranks at the very top. If your food storage only has room for one type of canned meat, the most sensible choice is still canned beef stew. 2. Spam/luncheon meat. Spam is not pretty. Spam is not fancy. Spam is not something people show off on the dinner table. Spam is one of the most powerful fuel sources you can stockpile. Most people judge spam emotionally. Salty, fatty, unhealthy. But survival is not a diet, and it is not an ideal nutrition plan. Survival is keeping your body strong enough to keep moving. One viewer wrote, "In a survival situation, I will eat anything and do not care whether it is processed or not. What matters is staying alive." And spam does that very well. A small slice of spam can provide more calories than many other canned meats. Its high-fat content helps sustain energy longer, while protein helps prevent muscle breakdown. When you have to do heavy labor, move constantly, clean up after storms, fix roofs, dig, pump water, or evacuate for hours, the body burns energy extremely fast. At that point, what you need is not a tasty meal, but fuel for your muscles. Spam is that fuel. The greatest advantage of Spam lies in its near absolute flexibility. You can fry it, boil it, steam it, mix it with rice, stir-fry it with noodles, cook porridge, eat it straight, or combine it with whatever is left in your kitchen. In survival, flexibility matters more than appearance. The easier a food is to combine, the more it helps you maintain consistent meals over the long term, even as your food supply gradually runs low. Spam also has a very long shelf life, requires no refrigeration, does not depend on electricity, and is extremely easy to store. When the power grid fails, refrigerators stop working, stores are emptied, and everything turns chaotic, Spam is still there, ready to provide instant energy. No preparation, no cooking. Just open the lid. But the greatest value of Spam does not lie in its salty taste or high-fat content. It lies in its ability to keep you standing. In survival, there is no concept of pretty or ugly food, only food that helps you live longer or not. Spam is not a refined meal, but it is the #1 base energy source. When you need strength to keep moving, keep working, keep standing, Spam gives you that quickly, simply, and effectively. And that is why, in every serious prepping list, Spam is always ranked very high. Not because it tastes good, but because it keeps you from collapsing when your body starts to tire. In survival, beauty does not help you live longer, but sufficient energy does. 3. Canned ham. Canned ham brings the feeling of a family meal. Not the feeling of survival, not urgency, but familiarity, warmth, and normalcy. Things people lose very quickly when a crisis hits. When stress rises, when anxiety spreads, when bad news piles up and everything around becomes uncertain, the first thing people lose is not food, but mental stability. When the mind collapses, the ability to think logically, make correct decisions, and control emotions declines as well. And that is when mistakes begin to appear. In survival, mental stability matters just as much as energy. Canned ham carries a special value. It brings back the feeling of familiar family meals. When you open the can, slice a few pieces, place them on a hot pan, and the aroma spreads through the kitchen, the brain immediately receives a signal that everything is still under control. That moment alone is enough to help people calm down, slow their heartbeat, and think more clearly. One viewer once shared, "If famine happens, you will eat canned meat and still feel grateful for having it." And among all types of canned meat, ham is the one most likely to make people feel grateful, because it brings the feeling of a real meal, not just eating to survive. Canned ham is extremely versatile. You can eat it straight, make sandwiches, scramble it with eggs, mix it with rice, cook porridge, make soup, or simply fry it hot with bread. These familiar dishes help maintain a normal daily rhythm, keeping families from falling into prolonged panic. It is no coincidence that in the military and in disaster relief programs, foods with familiar flavors are always prioritized. People understand that when morale is stable, humans endure better, think more clearly, and act more effectively. Canned ham is not the strongest energy source, but it is one of the strongest psychological pillars in a survival stockpile. It helps the elderly worry less, helps children feel less afraid, and helps the whole family maintain a sense of normalcy amid chaos. Survival is not just about still breathing, but about staying calm enough to keep going. And sometimes, a simple can of ham can preserve exactly that. Do you remember a family meal that made you feel the warmest? Leave a comment. Someone may need that feeling right now. 4. Canned corned beef. Corned beef is not just meat. In a crisis, it becomes a real form of currency, because when normal systems collapse, many things we once trusted lose their value almost immediately. Bank cards cannot be swiped. ATMs shut down. The internet becomes unstable, stores close, and cash, which once represented security, may no longer be able to buy even the most essential items. In those moments, food becomes the most valuable unit of exchange. Not gold, not stocks, not paper money, but food that can be eaten immediately, shared in portions, and used to sustain strength. One man in Texas once recalled that during the historic winter storm of 2021, when the power was out for many days, temperatures dropped below zero, and all stores were emptied. He used a few cans of corned beef from his stockpile to trade for drinking water for his children, batteries for heating lamps, and medicine for his elderly father who was shaking from the cold. No one asked for prices, no one bargained, because in that moment, a single can of meat was far more valuable than cash. Corned beef becomes an ideal trade item because it is easy to eat, energy-dense, and suitable for most people's tastes. In a crisis, people do not seek perfection, but fullness, strength, and acceptability. One can of corned beef can help someone hold on for another day, and sometimes just one more day is enough to get through the most dangerous phase. That is why it can be exchanged for water, batteries, medicine, fuel, or help. Things that are truly life-saving. In survival, people with money do not necessarily live better, but people with food always have choices. Corned beef gives you that ability. It not only helps you survive, but also helps you stay in control, because when you have what others lack, you have bargaining power. And in a crisis, bargaining power is control. Corned beef also has another quiet advantage. Its rich, moderately fatty flavor stimulates appetite when the body is exhausted and the mind is under prolonged stress. During days of power outages, cold, hunger, and anxiety, still wanting to eat is a sign that the spirit has not completely collapsed. It helps people maintain daily rhythm, preserve a sense of normal life amid chaos, and that very feeling creates the psychological endurance needed to move through the crisis. Corned beef, therefore, is not just stored food. It is a form of strategic asset, something that nourishes the body, protects the mind, and preserves your right to choose at moments when most people no longer have any choice. 5. Canned chicken breast. Canned chicken breast is the backbone of the survival kitchen, because in every prolonged crisis scenario, what people lack first is not spices or delicacies, but a clean, easily digestible, and stable source of protein to keep the body functioning over the long term. When fresh food disappears, freezers lose power, and choices keep shrinking, canned chicken breast becomes the nutritional foundation you can rely on day after day. Unlike many high-fat, heavy canned meats, canned chicken breast provides high protein with very little fat, allowing the body to absorb it quickly, maintain muscle strength, and avoid burdening the digestive system. This is especially important for older adults, people with underlying health conditions, or anyone living under prolonged stress, when each meal must not only provide enough energy, but also be light, easy to digest, and not overload the body. The greatest advantage of canned chicken breast lies in its near absolute ability to blend into any meal. You can mix it with rice, cook porridge for the elderly and children, add it to noodles, make soup, combine it with beans, dried vegetables, or whatever ingredients remain in the kitchen. No matter how simple the meal is, adding a bit of canned chicken breast immediately gives you a stable protein source, helping keep the body from deteriorating through long days. In survival, repetition is unavoidable. When you have to eat similar foods for weeks, even months, items that are too fatty, too salty, or too heavy will quickly make the body tired and suppress appetite. Canned chicken breast is different. It is light, neutral, easy to adjust in flavor, and does not create a greasy or cloying feeling, allowing you to maintain regular meals without mental collapse from monotonous eating. More importantly, canned chicken breast allows you to build a truly long-term survival strategy. If beef stew and corned beef provide high energy to get through intense periods, then canned chicken breast is what helps you live sustainably, live steadily, and recover strength after heavy depletion. It keeps muscles from wasting away, helps the immune system function better, and reduces the risk of weakness when living conditions become harsh. In an unstable world, where every plan can collapse overnight, what you need is not the best tasting meal, but food that will not betray you over time. And canned chicken breast is the protein foundation for every long-term survival strategy. Quiet, resilient, and reliable. 6. Canned roast beef. This is the kind of meat not only meant to help you keep living, but to help you not lose the feeling of being human. In crisis, many meals become cold and mechanical. People eat only for energy, only to avoid collapsing, only to endure one more day. But humans do not live on calories alone. We live on memory, emotion, and familiarity. A can of roast beef with its aroma that recalls family meals can pull people back into a normal state. In a dark house after a storm, amid anxiety and exhaustion, just opening the lid and letting the smell of meat spread is enough to slow the heartbeat, ease mental tension, and stabilize the spirit. This is not luxury. This is psychological therapy. When the mind breaks down, the body tires faster, immunity drops sharply, and decision-making ability declines noticeably. A meal with familiar flavor helps people stay calm, maintain a sense of safety, and continue to think clearly in stressful situations. Canned roast beef brings the feeling of a real meal, not eating just to get through, but eating more slowly, savoring the taste, and remembering that you are still alive. In long-term survival, this is extremely important. Not because it is delicious, not because it is fancy, but because it keeps people from sliding into pure instinctive survival mode. Survival is not just still breathing. Survival is still feeling alive. 7. Canned turkey. In prolonged survival, not every food needs to be exciting. Some foods are not tasty, not appealing, yet play a life-critical role. Canned turkey is one of them. Unlike high-fat meats, turkey is light, low in fat, and easy to digest. When the body is under constant pressure from stress, lack of sleep, and heavy labor, the digestive system collapses very quickly. And when you can no longer eat, every stockpile becomes meaningless. One 70-year-old viewer once shared, "I do not need to eat well. I only need to eat without making my body more tired." Canned turkey provides exactly that. High protein helps maintain endurance. Low fat keeps the stomach from being overloaded. Soft meat allows older adults and exhausted people to still eat. In prolonged crises, many people stop eating not because food is unavailable, but because they cannot digest what they have. Turkey solves precisely this problem. It is also very flexible. Mixed into porridge, cooked into soup, eaten with rice, noodles, potatoes, or beans, it is all easy to swallow and easy to absorb. A light meal that does not cause discomfort can help people maintain a steadier rhythm of life during prolonged stress. Survival is not about eating until full. Survival is eating to have enough strength to keep going. And in that persistent journey, canned turkey is not flashy, but it is the quiet pillar that keeps the body from collapsing. If you are in middle age or have experienced hardship, natural disasters, prolonged power outages, share your experience. Real stories always help others prepare better. 8. Canned pork. In survival, there is a very cold rule. When the body runs out of energy, every plan collapses. You may have knowledge, experience, and determination, but if you no longer have enough calories to move, you will stop very quickly. And in prolonged labor situations, canned pork is the most effective base fuel source. Canned pork is rich in calories, high in fat, helping sustain energy longer and create lasting fullness. When you have to clean up after storms, fix roofs, carry heavy loads, dig, move continuously for many hours, or evacuate under harsh conditions, the body burns energy extremely fast. If you rely only on lighter foods, you will fall into exhaustion after just a few days. Canned pork directly solves that problem. Just a small portion can provide enough calories for the body to keep moving. No stove, no complex preparation, no dependence on electricity. Just open the lid and you have immediate energy. In survival, this is a massive advantage. In addition, canned pork is easy to combine with all basic foods, such as rice, noodles, potatoes, beans, bread, porridge, or soup. This allows you to flexibly build meals in any situation, even as your stockpile gradually shrinks. The easier a food is to combine, the more it helps maintain consistent meals over the long term. Survival is not about eating well. Survival is eating to keep working. And canned pork is the meat that helps you not collapse during prolonged labor. 9. Canned meatballs. If canned pork feeds the muscles, then canned meatballs feed the spirit. In crisis, people face not only material shortages, but also enormous psychological pressure. Anxiety, fear, loss of control, and panic can cause bad decisions to appear in rapid succession. And in that state, a familiar meal can become a mental medicine far more powerful than many imagine. Canned meatballs bring the feeling of a family meal. The sauce, the familiar flavor, the soft texture, easy to eat, create a sense of safety and emotional stability. This is not accidental. In disaster relief camps around the world, meals with sauce and familiar flavors are always prioritized for distribution because they help victims stay calm, reduce panic, and stabilize their mental state faster. When stress is high, the ability to think logically and make decisions drops sharply. People act more on emotion, become irritable more easily, panic more easily, and fall into despair more easily. A meal with familiar flavor, with a sense of normalcy, helps the brain temporarily exit a state of high alert and return to a more stable rhythm. Canned meatballs do exactly that. They not only provide protein and energy, but also restore a sense of safety, a life-critical factor in long-term survival. When the mind is stable, people think more clearly, cooperate better, and maintain discipline better. This is something no dry, purely functional food can provide. In crisis, a meal with sauce, familiar aroma, and a feeling of home is not a luxury. It is a tool that keeps people from falling into panic. And when the mind remains steady, the chances of survival rise dramatically. If you believe that preparation is a smart way of living, not fear, subscribe to the channel. We are building a community that thinks ahead before it is too late. 10. Canned sausages. Canned sausages are not pretty, not fancy, not the kind of food that excites people, but in survival, they are one of the smartest foods you can carry with you. Compact, cheap, ready to eat. No cooking, no electricity, no preparation. Just open the lid and you have immediate energy to keep moving. In emergency situations, this simplicity is exactly what becomes life-saving. When you have to evacuate suddenly, sit in traffic for hours, face area-wide power outages, or move continuously without rest stops, the body loses energy very quickly. At that point, you do not need a full meal. You need instant calories to prevent dizziness, blurred vision, shaky hands, and loss of alertness. A few small sausage sticks can help keep the heart rate stable, the mind clear, and give you enough strength to keep going. In survival, loss of focus equals danger. Many accidents happen not because of food shortages, but because people become exhausted, dizzy, and make poor decisions. Canned sausages help stop that chain of collapse by delivering fast, simple, and timely energy. This is the ideal food for evacuation backpacks, car compartments, emergency kits, and any place where you need a rapid backup option. No knife, no stove, no bowls, no waiting. In survival, a small meal at the right moment is far more valuable than a large meal that comes too late. Canned sausages are not meant to taste good. They are meant to keep you from collapsing when you are about to run out of strength. And in those moments, staying upright just a little longer can be enough to change the entire outcome. Preparation is not about fear. Preparation is about maintaining control. No one knows when a crisis will come. But when it happens, everything will change very fast. These cans of meat are not for panic stockpiling. They are for helping you stay standing when others begin to fall. Survival is not living in fear. Survival is keeping calm, physical strength, and the ability to think. If this video is helpful, leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. Because in an increasingly unstable world, proper preparation is always better than late regret.